Welcome back to Definitely Not Definitive. I'm Ken.
And I'm Bethany.
And we're just a deadly duo in love that loves reacting to some death battle.
You knew it was going to be a death battle.
Yeah, it's Fight Night Friday, people! All right, so we got a Fight Night Friday on this channel. We got a Fight Night Friday on our other channel, Definitely Not Definitive Games, where we are checking out later today Street Fighter versus Tekken, the supers for those, the finishing moves. And that means that we gotta do a Street Fighter versus Tekken death battle. Ryu versus Jin. I'm more familiar with Ryu as far as, I always call him Ryu anyways, but I'm more familiar with him just from playing the game. I don't really know that much about his character just in general. Now, the way we do death battle on this channel is we watch it first to learn about the characters, then
we watch the first half of it.
Yeah, sorry, hang on. Actually, why don't you explain the death battle? You do a good job.
So what we do is we watch the first half of it where it talks about each individual character and their skill sets and their, maybe their weapons or anything else they might have that might help them win the death battle. Mm-hmm. Then we stop the video and we say who we think is going to win.
But wait, there's more, people. All right, so now we add a new wrinkle to it as well. We're going to keep track of our guesses for who we thought won. And we have a bet at the end of this year. Whoever wins gets to choose the cosplay outfits for us to wear on the channel. So that's what that's what's on the line here right now. The scoreboard is 1-0 so far.
And you can tell by his enthusiasm in saying that who has the one.
That's right, this guy right here in the leaderboard.
Enjoy it while it lasts.
All right, so here we go. Are you ready?
All right, so then the second half of this is we actually watch the death battle.
Oh yeah, there's that.
And then we will discuss, how we think that they did with the death battle and of course who won.
Yes, and then of course we also have a playlist down below in the description of this video for all of our death battles, so you should check that out after you're done checking this out. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Get your game face on, yeah.
This is serious business.
Everyone has different reasons for studying martial arts. For personal honor, to improve health,
and for kicking the crap out of the other people.
Yeah.
The wandering world warrior of Street Fighter.
and Jin Kazuma, the power-hungry martial arts master of Tekken.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to
He has
analyze their
special
weapons,
hair.
armor,
Yeah.
and skills to find out who would win a death battle. He's the hero the world never knew. His name means prosperous, plentiful, and abundant. He is the wandering warrior. He is Ryu.
That's a pretty epic introduction for a hobo.
Orphaned at a young age, Ryu was adopted by the martial arts master Goken. Under Goken's training and beside his fellow student Ken Masters, Ryu was trained in the art of Ansatsuken.
AKA the assassination
He looks great.
pit. This instant fighting style was specifically designed for murder, which automatically makes it the best martial art ever.
Well, Goken actually taught Ryu a slightly altered variant of the Ansatsuken. Inspired by karate, kenpo, and judo, Goken's version was a generally non-lethal one.
No,
Forbids him from fighting
But
dirty.
the deadly side of the martial art lived on in Goken's brother, Akuma, who would ultimately prove to be Goken's downfall. One day, Ryu and Ken returned to their dojo to find their master dead.
Kind of. He got better
my
later.
God.
But Ryu didn't know that, so he swore to wander the earth perfecting his abilities until he could take down Akuma himself.
With the Ansatsuken style, Ryu is a master at close quarter combat. With such techniques as the Shoryuken uppercut and the flying hurricane kick, he can take down most foes in mere seconds.
He's like the living helicopter of pain, but he can also use his ki as a weapon, firing a fireball of energy from his palms. Say it with me, Hadouken!
Goken's version of the Ansatsuken also taught Ryu several defensive techniques, including the skill to parry most other attacks with precise timing.
And with all these awesome powers of whooping ass, Ryu eventually made his way to the World Warrior Tournament.
With his skills, Ryu quickly reached the top of the competition. For the title of World Warrior, he faced his toughest opponent yet, Sagat.
Who ended up beating the shit out of him. But Sagat was surprisingly a pretty good sport, so when he thought the fight was over, he offered Ryu a hand up.
And in that moment, something dark swelled from within Ryu's consciousness. A force so fierce and destructive, he couldn't contain it. And he lashed out. With an enraged shout and an explosion of blood, Ryu emerged as champion over Sagat's near-dead body. Ryu's dark side had been unleashed.
Damn.
This was the Satsui no Hana.
A violent inner force so extreme, its name actually means surge of murderous intent. If I ever knowingly father a child, I know what I'm naming him.
Under the influence of the Satsui no Hado, Ryu falls into an uncontrollable
Damn, I
rage
didn't know about this.
known as Evil Ryu, where his physical and spiritual power skyrockets.
He can even teleport and use Akuma's favorite technique, the Shun Goku Satsu, which literally translates to instant hell murder. Okay, shit, now I gotta have 2 kids that I care about.
The Shun Goku Satsu, or the Raging Demon, is a fatal move which attacks the very soul of its victims with the gravity of all their past sins.
To make them die 1,000 deaths.
But while the Satsui no Hado is a manifestation of Ryu's dark side, he has achieved balance with the light. This is called Mu no Ken, or the power of nothingness.
Wait, that doesn't make any sense. What's he gonna do with nothing?
By focusing on mental and spiritual refinement and detachment, Ryu has achieved the ultimate state of being. This begets a power strong
the
enough
Hulk.
to match and even surpass the Satsui no Hado.
Oh yeah, that's how Goken survived Akuma's hell murder attack. And now Ryu's got the same power. Look at him go.
With all this power, Ryu's performed some incredible feats. Aside from winning the World Warrior Tournament, he's dodged bullets, destroyed skyscrapers, and survived Balrog's Gigaton blow.
Yeah, remember him from that boxing match we did? He's strong enough to kill an elephant in 1 punch. Ryu
my
is
God.
so tough that he survived getting impaled. And when he goes evil mode, he can just walk through gunfire.
He's strong enough to lift this enormous boulder over his head. By estimating the boulder's volume compared to Ryu's height and assuming a sandstone composition, we can determine it must weigh at least 36 tons.
Plus, there's a guy sitting on top of the boulder, and he's lifting his own boulder. Man, Oro's cool.
While Ryu's fighting record isn't perfect, his wins far outnumber his losses. He's defeated his friend Ken, the dictator M. Bison, and even a genetically engineered super warrior named Seth.
But those were just pit stops compared to his frequent battles with Akuma. And if you don't know, Akuma shattered an island with a single punch, split Ayers Rock in half in Australia, and jumped to the ocean surface from 4,000 feet below in 3 seconds while destroying a submarine.
That's about 3,000 miles per hour, by the way, and I guess he just powered through the bends.
Yeah, he's definitely final boss material.
And so, years after Akuma's attack on his foster father, Ryu faced him for the final time. And with the power of Mu no Ken on his side, Ryu was victorious.
All in a day's work for everyone's favorite Street Fighter.
Nice.
You had the power to actually defeat that beast. Now show it to me.
This power is not your defeat. This is the power to push forward.
If you met Jin Kazuma when he was just a boy, you wouldn't figure he'd grow up to be one of the most dangerous men to ever live.
Unless you already knew about his super deadly and super crazy family.
Jin was raised by his single mother, who taught him the Kazuma family-style martial arts after his father abandoned them.
Story of my life. No, really, those training days with Mama Boomstick were some of the best
Mama
times of my
Boomstick.
life.
One day,
Host of
Jin's
Devil
mother
Gene.
sensed a great evil approaching. She told him that if anything were to happen to her, he should seek out his grandfather, Heihachi Mishima.
Right on cue, a big-ass ogre showed up and attacked him. When Jin came to, his mom and Shrek were nowhere to be seen. Don't you hate it how moms are always right?
Thankfully, it wasn't too difficult for Jin to find Heihachi.
Yeah, he's super rich and has a really tall building. Kinda hard to miss.
So rich, in fact, that Heihachi owned a multinational conglomerate empire with its own banking, weaponry, military forces, and, just for kicks, a martial arts tournament.
Whoa! Why didn't Mom tell him about this? Time to collect on those missing Christmas presents, Granddad.
Ah,
I also
yes.
forgot to mention that Heihachi is a terrible father who's obsessed with throwing his own son off cliffs. Nobody's perfect, I guess.
Regardless, under Heihachi's guidance, Jin trained and perfected the Mishima Ryu fighting style. With 2 types of martial arts mastered, he's got all sorts of techniques that can pack a punch.
Such as the flash punch combo and the electrically charged lightning screw uppercut.
Or his famous 10-hit combo chain. Once he gets you stuck in his flurry of punches and kicks, you're not going anywhere until he finishes you off with a classic dragon uppercut.
With these talents and a thirst for revenge, Jin entered his grandfather's King of Iron Fist tournament. There, he came face to face with the ogre once again. But instead of, interrogating him to find out what happened to his mother, Jin just killed him. Nice job, stupid. There goes the only lead you had.
Nothing tastes better than sweet, sweet revenge. Except for maybe Mom's cooking. Well, unfortunately, it didn't last long, because he got shot up by his grandfather. Oh, that son of a bitch.
Wow.
Mama always said never trust a bald
To
man
unlearn
who
most of the
tells his
Mishima-style
barber
martial
to
art.
Be the Wolverine.
But Jin had a little surprise for Heihachi, and for himself actually. Thanks to his family line, he has inherited the dreaded and parasitic Devil Gene.
Which turns him into a flying laser-shooting demon person. Now that's one genetic disorder you can sign me up for.
Good news then. I've been working on an artificial digestible version of the Devil Gene myself.
Oh yeah?
Stanley.
That happened to be the chewy fruit candy in the blue bucket.
What did you do?
Well, my dog Jack Spaniels was wandering around scrounging for food as he does, and I was wondering why he suddenly grew horns and wings.
You've got to be shitting me.
Anyway, compared to his base form, Devil Jin's strength, speed, and durability are better than ever.
Devil Jin is strong enough to throw people dozens of feet and even smash them through walls. For this instance in particular, he's pushing Heihachi through the limestone wall of an Aztec pyramid. To do this, Jin must have struck the wall with force equal to at least 10 tons per square inch.
Hell, Jin is stronger than this guy called Raven, who can toss around this giant war robot named Nancy.
And compared to real-life robots of similar size and accounting for additional weaponry and gear, this machine should weigh anywhere between 15 to 30 tons. Also, Jin is fast enough to dodge bullets and fly into orbit,
And survived falling all the way back down.
which puts his maximum flight speed over
He can
escape
fly.
velocity. That's more than 25,000 miles per hour.
He can
That's why
even
she's a
punch
laser
so
beam.
fast he causes shock waves. That's right, Jin throws punches faster than the speed of sound. Remind me never to give him a high five.
Totally reasonable, considering his grandfather can catch bullets in his teeth from
Yeah.
just 20 feet away.
And surely Jin can do better than that. Heihachi doesn't even have the Devil Gene.
That's right.
Starting
The
World
Devil
War
Gene
III,
traces
damn.
back not to
Still fall from
Heihachi, but to
orbit.
Jin's grandmother.
Who freaking rides tigers?
As a result, Heihachi's son Kazuya inherited the Devil Gene and passed it on to Jin.
Kazuya's powers are basically the same as Jin's, and he's shown just how far the devil form can go. He shot a blast powerful enough to erupt a volcano and survived a satellite laser straight out of Independence Day.
This is the same laser that once shot the robotic soldier Gunjack. By measuring the blast radius and resulting devastation, the laser's firepower appears to equal 3.7 megatons of TNT.
You know the bomb that got dropped on Nagasaki in World War the sequel? Yeah, this laser's like 176 of those hitting all at once.
While the Devil Gene can sometimes be difficult for Jin to control, it provides an enormous advantage against almost any foe.
With it, he's won 3 of the 4 King of Iron Fist tournaments he's entered. He's defeated Heihachi, Kazuya, and even the supposed OG Devil Man himself, Azazel. Too bad he had to start World War II sequel just to find him. Kind of a dick move.
Jin's certainly no angel, and hardly a hero. Still, when it comes down to it, he is the child of destiny, and not even the devil's blood can seal his fate.
Can't you understand? All this fighting is pointless. It's never gonna end.
That's the
It
point.
will end with this bloodline. And that is why I fight.
Okay, so you want me to go first or you want to go first? Ryu can kind of like control both sides of himself, kind of like the Hulk and Bruce Banner was able to do it at one point, which is why like I brought that up. But if Devil Jin's able to beat Heihachi, then that's huge. And he survived that huge laser blast. So I'm thinking Jin right now out of the gate. What about you?
So where I land right now is I think Jin's gonna win,
Okay.
but I can't support him. So I'm gonna vote for Ryu.
What do you mean you can't support him?
What attracts me to Ryu is Ryu can't fight dirty. He has a code.
Yeah.
He has integrity. He's worked very hard to balance the good and evil in his nature. So as a character, I find Ryu more appealing. I therefore want to cheer for him. I think he's gonna lose, but I like him more. And I'm gonna go for the guy that I like.
All right, you know what? That's noble. Then that's normally where we fall on these scales. She goes for the heroes. I go for the villains, and she's noble. I'm win at any cost, and you know, I gotta protect my lead, my 1-0 lead right now. And so, I mean, also Jin can fly. I mean,
can fly,
Ryu
you
can
shoot
teleport.
lasers.
Yeah, he can shoot
I mean, like,
lasers. I mean, so but Ryu's got the key. And then he can blast.
He's not gonna get his ass totally kicked, but you know, I'm just saying.
All right,
There's
all right.
some definite advantages that Jin has.
We'll see. Once again, we've split it, so you know we can pick the same person.
How does that work for our points at the end? We just both get a point.
We just both get a point.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you want Devil Jin, you can kick
No.
Devil Jin. Nope, you don't want it. If Devil Jin's gonna give her a point, she doesn't want that point. She wants to earn it from people that she enjoys.
I do.
Okay. All right. That's you know what I respect that. I
Thank
respect
you.
that, and for that I'll go easy on you when I'm picking the cosplay on.
We didn't set a deadline for this. Is it gonna be like the last death battle of the year? Last death battle of the year where the scorekeeping stops.
Yeah.
Determines our costumes for New Year's Eve.
All right. I like that. So we're gonna have to stop the death battle a little bit in advance, so we know can get the proper costume and wear it for New Year's Eve. It's in the record
I
books.
was just saying it's on camera now, so now it has to happen.
All right. Ready?
Ready.
Okay. See, I also think his code is gonna hurt him in the end, because he's not willing to do whatever it takes, because he's got a.
But in the Karate Kid, that's what won it.
Ah, true. Ooh.
There's no way I can lose. Talk is cheap. The answer lies in the heart of battle.
Come on, Ryu. I mean, look at how
Yeah.
jacked Ryu is.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got
He does win the muscles.
for sure. Come on, Ryu.
Music's pretty good too. For this.
Come on, Ryu. Come on, come on.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hamlet. There you go.
No, Ryu, get up.
All right, no showboating.
Ryu, get up.
Remind me of like the Matrix movie with Morpheus.
Yeah. The whole setup reminds me of that, too. Ew. Go, Ryu.
I like the crazy fists and like the crazy blocking of the fists. Oh.
Yeah, hurricane kick.
Oh, you're about to get the devil.
Go, Ryu, go.
You can do better than that. Come on.
Don't get cocky.
But now I'm worried because he took my devil first. That means Ryu's gonna come out with his badass move.
If he goes devil, he doesn't like go evil willingly. Come on, Ryu.
Oh.
Oh, I think he might have just. Nope.
Here it comes.
Oh.
Oh. I love the setting of this one. This is badass.
Yeah, it is. It's really epic in scale.
Yeah.
Go, Ryu.
Come on, Jin.
Come on, Ryu.
Yeah.
Come on, Ryu.
Dude. Laser blast him.
Come on, Ryu.
Oh, right in the face.
Oh.
What
He
the
blocked
hell? Oh no! Oh.
I walk the path of the true warrior.
Ow!
I get why it's called the power of nothingness now. There's no nothing left in his chest.
This one was a tricky match to decipher. Both Ryu and Jin had many displays of incredible feats, but very few truly showcased the upper limits of their power. We know that in their base forms, both could lift around 30 tons and move at supersonic speeds. Also, we know Ryu could maintain a much better level of control and discipline in Muno Ken than Jin in Devil form.
Yeah, hardcore Tekken fans know he had pretty good control over it in that Blood Vengeance movie, but it's pretty inconsistent with game canon. Even Tekken's creator has said it's not canon.
Also, Jin's fall from orbit feat was impressive, but it is hard to quantify due to its presentation. Even if we assume we are to take it literally, a man of Jin's size landing at terminal velocity would equal around 18 tons of force.
But to find their limits, we had to scale them to comparable characters.
Scaling Jin to his father Kazuya was logical. Kazuya survived that 3.7 megaton laser blast.
Yeah.
And it's clear it was necessary for him to be in devil form to do so. Kazuya's own laser blast was strong enough to help kick off a volcano's eruption. A feat which could require up to 100 megatons of TNT.
Damn.
But that's a very generous estimate, and its actual potency is likely much less.
Since their power comes from the same place, and Jin's even defeated Kazuya before, it's safe to say Jin can do all this too. As for Ryu, we knew exactly who we had to scale him to. Let's talk about Akuma.
First off, just to prove this scaling is reasonable, Ryu and Akuma share very similar abilities. Both were trained in the Otsutsuken fighting style, and both possessed the Satsui no Hado. They fought each other several times, and when the story was all said and done, Ryu emerged ultimately victorious based on his skill alone.
Now that that's out of the way, let's watch Akuma punch an island to death.
A single strike, Akuma managed to break apart an entire island so thoroughly that Ryu, who was on the island, was left floating helplessly in nearly clear water. Assuming the island is somewhat circular, we've estimated the volume and deduced that in order to fragment the island like this, Akuma's punch must have been over 400 megatons of TNT.
God.
Oh,
That's more than
wow.
4 times stronger than anything a Devil Gene has pulled off. And Ryu takes blows from this guy all the time.
Sure, Ryu wasn't getting hit with 400 megatons every time Akuma landed a punch, but the most a Devil Gene carrier has ever survived amounts to less than 1% in comparison. Even if Jin could survive a strike as strong as Kazuya's volcano feat, it still pales in comparison. The fact that Ryu survived being on the island as it was blown apart helps justify this scaling too.
Well, Jin still takes the speed advantage with that flight into orbit, but it doesn't mean much when the difference of power and toughness is this massive.
When it came down to it, Ryu's strength, durability, and control were just too far out of Jin's reach.
Wait, Wiz, we forgot a feat. You remember that gun jack robot? A later model of Jack once destroyed a meteor. Couldn't we just scale Jin to that?
Well, it's unsupported by canon material, but even if we did, guess who destroyed an even bigger meteor? Akuma.
Damn. Well, Jin up, everybody. Ryu's taking care of business.
The winner is Ryu.
I'm allowed to gloat this time.
No, you gloat all you want. I gloated last time.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I'm saying.
no,
Going for it.
It's not fun unless you gloat.
Don't feel very sportsmanlike, but I'm gonna do it anyway.
Well, I mean, okay, so, the disclaimer is, yes, you should be a good winner and a good loser, and, sportsmanship is very good. But in this sense, between the two of us, I think it's all in good fun, so for any kids that might be watching out
We're very good sportsmen unless we're playing Monopoly against each other.
That is true.
Then all bets are off.
A lot of what I based mine on was Heihachi Mishima's death battle that I watched recently, and the fact that he was so powerful and was able to endure so much, but we don't know enough about Akuma. And that's really what I should have what I did not take into account was Akuma's strength as well. Akuma seems just super overpowered. We're gonna have to check out a death battle for Akuma later on to see more about him.
Yeah, I'll admit I feel like I kind of lucked out because we had watched the Heihachi and Jin material recently. That was in my mind. In addition to Jin being able to fly and shoot a laser out of his head, and I was like, man, he's got so many advantages. And knowing genuinely nothing about Akuma, so never even predicting the scale reference of the characters that they ultimately use. The only thing that going into this, I was like, if I win, it's gonna be because Ryu can control himself and Jin can't. I was like, that is my only Hail Mary card at play here that might help me win.
You know what? You stuck to your guns. You stuck to your principles. You thought that Jin was probably gonna win, but you bet on the character, on the person that you wanted to root for, and that had the values that you aligned with. And so, when you do that and you lose, at least you picked him for a good reason. When you do that, when you win, it makes it that much sweeter.
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
Plus, who doesn't like to see Bethany happy like that? So it is 1-1.
Tie it up.
You know what? We both kind of. I think the next time we do a death battle, no one's gonna want to go first because you went first last time and you picked Geese Howard, who I was gonna pick, but since you picked Geese Howard, I went with Heihachi and ended up winning. This time I went first and they lost. So next one, we'll have to go back and forth between who picks first, so that way we can.
I have a different idea.
Okay, what's the idea?
I think we write it down.
Okay.
I think we show it to the audience.
Ooh.
And then we discuss. Because then we can't go back on it. We've written it down. And then that way, I'm not influenced by what you choose. You're not influenced by what I choose or what we both say.
All right. I like a new wrinkle added to the death battle
We're
matches.
just getting more and more in depth with this.
Yes, and that's what's so much fun about this. And we have fun like this on our other channel as well, where we do character drafts, or which we're gonna have to modify that as well, because she keeps trumping my trump cards on that.
I keep winning, is what he's saying.
And if you have no idea what that means, you're going to go check out our character drafts on our other channel. Thanks so much for checking out our reaction for this death battle for Ryu versus Jin, which is just a crock of shit because the real winner should have been Jin.
Ryu
Just keep in mind that our reaction
is definitely not definitive.